Alright guys, so after a lot of wait, finally got this in the mail. It's the Wow&Flutter Machine. This is the chili model. Here we go. Just look in the box here. So you have your USB-C to USB charge cable. It's actually got some weight to it. I thought it was going to be lighter than this. Fader feels pretty smooth. So it looks like the jog wheel itself is made out of, or at least the top part has some type of, it's like an acrylic possibly. So the nice thing about this one is it has the battery port. That was the one drawback to the Omni Portable. You had to take the whole bottom of the portable off just to get to the battery on the inside. So it does take an 18650 battery. Cap that on. So the nice thing is it looks like it has the little anti-slip pads here. You just got to peel this off. Here. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Phillips screws holding it together. You have your QR code here and it'll show you how to use this little guy. So on the back you have your volume knob, headphone jack, USB-C port. This looks like the speaker knob. I'll have to double check what this is. And then of course your on and off switch. It's like a little toggle switch here. So let's turn it on here. And right away it starts playing a beat. So if you turn down this knob here, this knob is going to turn the sample up and the beat down. Okay, so if I turn it to the left, the beat is down. So all you can hear is the scratch sample.
Go back to that.
Okay, now if I turn it to the right, now the sample is gone and it's just the beat. Okay. In the middle you'll get both. I guess this is how you switch the beat. It's gonna have some preloaded beats in here, which is pretty cool. I've seen that a lot of the belts are coming off of the platter here, so we're probably going to have to flip this little guy upside down or open it up or to install the belts. Okay, so the bottom plate, that's actual pretty thick metal, so that's why it has a little bit of that weight to it. There's your crossfader. So that's interesting. It looks like it's using a optical sensor. I haven't seen that done in quite some time actually. So that's okay. Alright, nothing wrong with that, you know, still non-contact fader. So that's exactly what they're using. They're using an optical sensor. So see, when I put this in the way, see how the sound goes away? Okay. It is a bar assisted fader. They did put some, it looks like some washers here to give the fader a little more weight so it doesn't feel so light. That doesn't feel too bad. It feels nice. If you wanted to make it lighter, you could unscrew this and it looks like you can take the washers off, so that's pretty cool. Here's your speaker, your main board here. Oh, check this out. Here is your micro card that has all of the samples and everything on there, so that's where that goes. You're gonna have to remove some screws because this is a little plate right here. Okay, so let's remove those screws. Man, this is a little bit of a pain in the butt to do. So there's, oh, these are different screws too. These are a lot smaller, so make sure, you know, again, you're not going to mix up your screws. Put them to the side. There's one screw here, and then a little tiny screw right here. You can kind of see it shining. I was hoping I wouldn't have to take that one off. And that one's a little harder to get to, but there's that screw. Okay, now this plate should come off. There we go. This isn't your typical belt. Here's your platter. So it looks like it's this ABS molded platter here, and you have your little real thin coat of plastic here. Let's put the belt on. You're supposed to take this, go around the platter. You don't want to overstretch the belt. It would have been nice if they put some type of a little lip or indentation on so that the belt would stay in place once you got it there, because this is kind of inconvenient, because if it falls, it falls, and then you're kind of in a bad spot. See, so look, the belt went completely underneath the platter. So luckily, oh my gosh, luckily I have this pick tool, but oh my goodness. So this is definitely going to be a point of frustration for you, is getting this belt back on. I think I got it. There we go. It's pretty strong, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Okay. So anyway, let's get this back together. God, I hope that belt doesn't fall off, because that's kind of a pain in the butt to have to do that every single time. You know, what they could have done with this, putting a magnet here would have been nice. Like a magnet here, here, and here. So then you could just lift this up, boom. And then that would have made it a lot easier. But to have to unscrew 9 screws, you're to, you know, reattach the belt. That's kind of yuck. If it ever comes down to where you need to recalibrate your fader, move your fader all the way to the right, hold your sample and beat button down at the same time, okay, like this, and then you're going to hit the button, okay, then you're going to pull this over, just like that, you're going to hit the 2 buttons, and then you're going to hit that button again. Now, so you're good to go. Alright, so I'll kind of go over what the lights mean here in the jog wheel. So the start button, a single press for start stop. The jog wheel, the light will be white.
Go back to that. Yeah.
Okay, now if you double press, that's going to enable or disable the audio effect.
Go back to that. Go back to that.
So you can kind of hear like there's a bit of a echo with that. See? Now if I turn it off, there's no more echo. Okay. Now if you hold it down, you're going to enable recording. So apparently you can record your sessions, and then you should be able to play it back. If you to enable effects and recording, you're gonna hold it down and then it'll turn purple. So this is your pitch.
Go back to that. Go back to that. Go back to that. Go back to that.
Pretty much it as far as that goes. Again, you have your headphone jack, which is also a line out, so you can send the signal out to a bigger speaker if you want to do that as well. So one of the things that I like to do with any device that I'm testing, be it a mixer, turntables, little controllers, portable turntables, is I like to do chirps and flares, and ultimately chirp flares, just to make sure that the fader and the whatever device I'm using is dialed in. If it's not missing any clicks, if it's not lagging on any of the movements, and it sounds nice and clean, then I know that it's going to be able to handle whatever scratch I throw at it. So what I want to do is I want to chirp, and then I flare, and then ultimately chirp flare. You can always go through the settings when you hook this up, and you can play around with the settings on the lag and the cut-in time. Alright guys, so I just hooked up the USB cable, and it's going into my laptop here. You're gonna see it says wow. It says beats here, recordings, samples, undos, and then wow settings txt. Go into samples, tool wave. So you'd be able to take whatever you want out of this folder and put whatever you want in with your, as make the wave format or MP3 or whatever. So that's kind of cool. The beats, there's a bunch of beats on here. So again, I know this is kind of hard to read, but so let's say I only wanted it to cut on one specific side. What this is telling me is, for fader left, it says equal sample. Fader right, it equals sample. If I didn't want it to cut on one side, instead of it saying sample, I could change it to none, or I could change it to beat. Left cut value is $35.99. Right cut value is $38.69. These values are auto-generated when you do fader calibration. Edit a larger value, plus 30 for... Let me see what the heck that says. For example, will give you more lag. So, okay. So yeah, this kind of gives you a rundown of what you can do. Wheel response equals 8. Jog wheel response value can be set from 1 to 10. 1 has better audio quality, 10 has faster response. Default is 8. High pass frequency, sample scratch high pass filter in hertz. Effects mode, set what effects could be enabled, or set what effects to be enabled when effect mode is on. So that's when you double tap. You could do reverb, delay, or both. If you want both, you can type in both. If you want to disable the effects, you just type in off, and that would be here. You would just change the value here. So that's again, that's really cool. Looper mode, no. Looper mode beta to be updated in the future. So right now you can't do that. Fader calibration equals 50. Edit the lag distance of fader auto calibration. High value equals more lag. Default is 50. The cut-in time at 50 is pretty good. Let me move this here so you can see. Look at that. So watch. I barely got to move this bad boy. So for me, that's pretty good. I don't think I want it any sharper than that, because if it gets too sharp, what'll end up happening is the fader itself won't register that the fader ever turns off. You're gonna start missing clicks, and that'll, you know, then your cuts aren't gonna be as clean. Well, that's it, guys. That's the Wow&Flutter Machine from Headache Sounds. Seems like it's going to be a pretty solid little unit for what it has and the features that it offers. And then, of course, you know, you do have the updated version of this with the little cue points on the side here, so you can save whatever your favorite samples are, and you don't have to keep scrolling through the samples to find whatever you want. So my only drawbacks right now so far are, of course, the belt. I really wish they would have thought about an easier way to get this plate off. And like I was saying, it would have been cool if it was like magnetic. Then it would have just popped off, having to take all the screws off the bottom and the screws out of the plate just to get access to the belt. It's kind of a pain in the butt. And then also the platter itself, I wish there was some type of little lip, so that when you do get the belt around the platter, it actually stays, and you can actually put it around the motor so it doesn't fall off underneath it, and then you have to try to fish it out again. That, and of course the knob. I'm not a big fan of this knob. I don't like the way that it's designed. I don't like the roundness of it, so I just replaced it with one of my Prism caps, and now it's on point. So that's it, guys. That is the Wow&Flutter Machine, and I'll keep you posted if I ever do decide to do the update on the little cue points here. I'll show you how that modification goes. But hopefully you enjoyed the video, and hopefully this helps you out with your decision of either purchasing one or not purchasing one. As for me, you know, I like it. So good job there, Headache Sounds. And yeah, thanks guys for watching. Peace.